64 Tacos Podcasts presents Is This Song Good? This is episode 38. Rednex, Cotton Eye Joe.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Is This Song Good? We are going through our series on songs that that became extremely popular and we're not quite sure why. Today we're going to be talking about the Cotton Eye Joe, or talking about Cotton Eye Joe by Rednex. It was released in the mid-90s. It's techno, country, Euro dance, and that pretty much sums it up perfectly. Let's see, we would have all been in high school, I think, when this one came out, if I'm not mistaken. And what do you guys think?
Oh boy.
This one didn't quite reach number one in the US. It did hit number one in the UK and in pretty much all of Europe. But it definitely has not left my life, as it is played at every event that children are present at, and there is weird line dancing and just terribleness everywhere every time it comes on.
Well, it had left my life, and I hate you for bringing it back. I can't even really remember where I heard it the first time. Maybe it was like a roller rink thing or something, like roller skating party, middle school, high school, whatever. Yeah, and I don't remember this song. I remember the song, but I don't remember how I got exposed to it. And I'm actually glad about that. And I don't want to be exposed to it. And I listened to it once and I was like, nope, I just noped right out. It's just, and the thing about it is, like, looking at the Wikipedia page, it's like the Swedish Euro dance band Rednex. And when I was, it finally dawned on me, yes, it's techno country. And and I think that's sort of a genius mashup that only needs to be this song.
Yeah, but you also have to include the Euro dance to just get that last little flair that has enough.
Yes, because only Europeans would come up with this insanity.
Right.
Oh, and it's funny you say that because I don't know if you guys remember Avicii, I think is how you say it, or like an EDM guy. Who he had a whole album, I think, of songs that were basically this. It was like country / bluegrass combined with EDM, and of course he's Swedish, right? Or he was Swedish. I think he's dead now, but yeah. But yeah, it's pretty funny that not only.
I thought you were going to say he defected.
Or was
it was the techno country that killed him?
Easy now. We're gonna antagonize EDM. All the EDM fans listening.
Yeah.
I think he actually committed suicide, which is kind of depressing and sad. But anyhow, the point being, it was almost ahead of its time, because there was a brief, like 6, 7, 8 years ago, there was a little wave of this sort of like dance, like bluegrassy country EDM stuff. And which was weird. I mean, I don't really care about it, but it wasn't like bad. And that's kind of how I feel about this song. It's super repetitive and annoying. There's no doubt about that. But it doesn't make me okay. I don't know, if I had to hear it all the time, like at kids things, then I'm sure I would hate it. But
yeah, when you're not in control of whether you're listening to it or not, it is terrible.
I believe that. And here's the weird thing. I have these strong associations with this song from like middle school roller skating stuff at Woodland Skating. But the weird thing is, when I looked at the Wikipedia page, it said it was recorded in 94, which is a year too late. So I really don't know what my brain did there. but I somehow remember it from, skating in like 92 and 93, but yet somehow it didn't come out, it didn't exist then. It's just weird.
Maybe Rednex also have a time machine.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. And
they line dance themselves into the past.
You mentioned line dancing, Dave, and apparently, number one, this is like a 150 plus year old traditional song, and
right.
And also in like the 80s and early 90s, it was part of a line dancing like craze because it's been covered many times in that realm of country music, which I didn't know at all. I was like, it makes sense that it's European, but it's like, why is this dude just like rambling out these country-ish sounding stuff over like a dance song? When I first heard it, of course, I was like 14 or 15, so I didn't know anything about 13, anything. Or 12 or 13 is that's what my brain believes. Apparently, that's not possible. But further evidence we're living in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Yep. It's incredibly repetitive. I'm looking through the lyrics here and I'm like, you know what? I really want Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds to do their version of this.
Oh, wouldn't that be something?
It would.
That would be amazing.
Because it almost even though it's repetitive, it almost has sort of like a story structure, like each, like the what was that one murder ballad song that we did?
Stagger Lee.
Stagger Lee. It almost has that sort of like, something.
Them doing a Stagger Lee version of Cotton Eye Joe. Oh my goodness, that'd be amazing.
I think we need to tweet Nick Cave and see what he can.
I will right now.
And there's more lyrics available in the the older versions of the songs. This is a very pared down minimalist version, the Rednex version. It's a whole story about how this guy's stole his wife to be or whatever, and so it would work. We just need to get this information to Nick Cave's stat so he can, he's got nothing better to do.
It's imperative that this. So anyway, the song itself, I don't really know. I think the popularity comes from the repetitiveness, but also the line dancing and the crossover, being able to have it in clubs, have it at country hoedowns, have it at the roller rink. I think, and children's events, apparently. I think that's where it really shines, if you can call it that.
Well, and I think the thing to remember about these songs sometimes is I don't use music as just like background filler or just sort of brainless like ear candy. That's not that doesn't I mean, I guess you could argue I do on songs I've heard 1,000 times, and it just I'm just like, oh, I like this feeling because I like this song. But so there's a big chunk of people out there that just don't invest a lot of mental energy into music. Not that they don't like music, they just don't work at it. So when they hear something catchy and repetitive, on a brain level, that kind of works for a lot of people. If you sit down and try to analyze, what's good or bad about it, you're like, well, this is awful. This is repetitive and stupid and, whatever. But if you're just looking to hear something catchy and, and fun and upbeat, then, and you aren't really that invested in whether it's, quote unquote, good music or not, then there's probably a lot of people that just like, oh, I love this song. This reminds me of being a kid, and they enjoy it until their 7th birthday party that they have to go to. And then they hate it, but
it's got a good beat. It's got some fun, enjoyable, repetitive lyrics, and that's all you need. I mean, that is all you need.
It's an interesting mashup of different styles, which I don't know that we'd heard before that at the very least. So it's different sounding. It catches your ear right away.
Yeah, I don't think anybody actually writes in that genre. I think it's always just a mashup, right? I mean, was Avicii actually writing music in that style? Or
I think it was a combination. He would have guest artists like come in and sing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if those were traditional. I'm not an expert on this, but I don't know if it was traditional songs or, like melodies that he wrote that he needed someone else to sing because, he's not really a singer or what. But it was definitely like a collaboration of like the guy, the singer from "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou," "Man of Constant Sorrow." I noticed on the Wikipedia page as I was looking into this a little bit that he sang on one of them. Dan Tominski, I think his name is. So like he got a bunch of people that sounded more credible singing this kind of stuff, and then put his music together with that. So yeah, it is very much. It's not like he was like, all right, I'm going to write some country songs and then put dance music to it, and I'll sing them and come up with them and the whole deal. So you're right. It is more of a mashup type thing, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think the Rednex, they took they took what was there of the song and then they put it with what they do. Of course, I haven't really listened to any of their other music, so it's entirely possible that their whole album is just country techno.
Well, and if you, I don't know if you watched the official video from 94 or whatever, 95. But it's like highly offensive, like Europeans' 90s version of what rednecks, quote unquote, are. A bunch of like hicks in a barn chewing on straw with like bad teeth and dirty faces and stuff. So it's like, it did not come from a place of respect, love, or intelligence. It was just like rednecks. That's an American thing. Let's and of course we gullible Americans ate it up. Apparently, So
yeah. Take all our money.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that about covers that one. Dan, what do we have next week?
Next week we're doing another song from 94 or 95. It's Hootie and the Blowfish, "Hold My Hand," their very first single. So that'll be something to look forward to.
Look forward to getting your hand held.
Sounds good.
All right.
We'll see you there.
I caught it on audio.